The Electoral Commission has announced that it has deleted names of some 56,000 voters who got onto the voters register with their national health insurance cards.
It follows the Supreme Court's order for the names to be removed and the affected persons given a chance to register using a recognized national identification card. The National Democratic Congress's Director of Elections, Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo, told newsmen the EC announced the deletion at an inter-party advisory committee meeting in Accra on Tuesday.
The Electoral Commission has informed us that they have deleted all the 56,720 names or thereabouts from their register. And again, on the question of continuous registration, it is still at the discussion level, and so we haven't concluded because the Political Party Reform Committee are supposed to look at the modalities for the continuous registration. When it is agreed, then the Electoral Commission can then implement Regulation 9.1, which talks about continuous registration.
One thing that we would have wanted to know is to know if the EC gave you clearly how they actually removed these names from the register.
They have the database of everybody there. So they know once they command, there's a command that when they get those names and they give a command, the command is able to remove those names. We ask a question that if somebody goes to the exhibition center and the person's name is not found in the register because his name might inadvertently or mistakenly be removed, what does the person do? And the answer is that is why everybody ought to take advantage of the exhibition. Go and check your name. If you go and your name is not in the register and you have your card, an opportunity will be given to you to fill the forms, and after the filling of that forms, they will take steps to ensure that your name is included in the register.
And the NPPs, as those who raised concerns about the no verification, no vote annulment, did that issue come up and how was it addressed?
Well, at IPAC, both the MPP and NDC are against manual verification, but the Electoral Commission thinks otherwise, and they have put it in the law. Once it's part of the law, we have to accept it and see how best to go about it.
Do you foresee any challenges that would come along with the manual verification?
There are likely to be challenges. Because on election day, the temperature is different. The tension is different.
Well, how have the political parties also been responding to the announcement by the Electoral Commission?
It's work in progress. Yes. So if it's been deleted, I don't know, but I know it's work in progress.
Didn't you discuss that in the meeting? Didn't that discussion come up?
Science is what I've given you. As for the 56,000, everybody knows the Supreme Court sitting. That is the number that the EC went, and the Supreme Court has ordered them to go delete and re-register. So it's a process. It's not an event. So I am saying that the process has some kind of transition. You transit one stage of the process and go to the other. You delete first, ask the public to know. And that's why I'm saying they are going to place an advert in one national daily and then at the various centers. That has not been done. So that is part of the process.
Based on those processes, wouldn't it be surprising that the EC would have already deleted?
And I'm saying it is work in progress because it's not a kind of work that you can do by a stroke and say you have done with the NHIS registrants. You have to do it in various stages. One, you delete. Two, give them opportunity to come and register. Even before then, post their names in the national dailies, in the various EC offices. So all these are stages. So the order from the Supreme Court cannot be carried out by a stroke of a pen. It is a process. And I'm saying because it's a process, you may finish one step or stage of the process, then the others will be work in progress.
Did questions about the issue of no verification, no vote come up? Did you have that opportunity to discuss it?
Well, she explained.
Meanwhile, Frank Davids, who is one of the lawyers for Abu Ramadan, who sued the Electoral Commission over the electoral register, says the news of the deletion comes as a surprise to his team. According to him, they will make sure the Commission deletes all other names on the electoral register illegally.
If I in excess of that, that's what they deleted exactly. I'm just wondering, you are not part. I know when we spoke to you the day you won this case, you were keen on working with the EC to do this in a way that you believe agrees with the directives of the court. You were not involved in the process. You don't even know how the deletions came about. Are you happy with that?
Well, I'm not too happy, but I mean, ordinarily, the work of the EC is always confined to the EC, like they always say. They are independent, so they've been ordered by the court to carry out a process, an exercise. My joy is that, from what I said from the beginning, that in all these things, there are stakeholders, and the stakeholders are the political parties. My joy is that they have at least involved the political parties in the exercise. The elections are being run for political parties and not for the EC. So if the political into the IPAC meeting and they are happy with what the EC has done, I mean, that is fair. But ordinarily, I mean, if they wanted to involve us, I think they should have invited us. But hey, I mean, it is, and if they have done what they were ordered to do, I mean, that's okay.
Will you, from now, be engaging the EC at all to get a list yourselves? Because there was a concern you expressed the last time about whether the 56,000 excess names that provided to the Supreme Court was the complete and total.
The court were appointed. It's the list they brought to court, and others not found on the list. So if they have deleted the 56,772, what we are left now are the others which are not found on the list. And that would be a combined exercise between the EC and the political parties and an IPAC. Because if they are listed with the NHIS cards and the list is exhibited, like they said, they're going to put it in the papers and also send it to the district offices or centers. If there are others who register with NHIS cards and they don't find their names on that list, they have an opportunity to come and have their names also deleted or whatever. But I mean, at this stage, all I can say is that I will need time. I represented some persons in court. They were plaintiffs. I just acted as lawyer. So I will meet with my clients, and then we will see the way forward.
The Bolson South District of the Upper East region is set to become one of the main food production centers in Ghana.
That's according to the President John Dramani Mahama during an inspection of the Ghana Commercial Agriculture Project at Wesi in the Bolson South District as part of his tour dubbed Accounting to the People. The President said one of the 50 farmer services centers will be set up in the district to help increase food productivity and improve the income of the people.
We're setting up 50 farmers services centers. The Ministry of Agriculture has initiated the agreement, and we're going to start to set them up. One of the centers is going to be sited at Bedembisi, and it is going to be a center that will service all the farmers in this area to provide them with mechanization services. Each farmer service center is going to be given 10 agricultural tractors with plows and harrows, planters, fertilizer distributors, everything that a mechanized agricultural farm should have. And they're going to have an input shed that provides them with fertilizers, pesticides, and all the agricultural inputs they need, improved seeds, and all that. And so all the farmers in this catchment area will register with the Farmer Service Center. And they will book when they want the tractor to come and plow their field, when they want to plant, when they want to weed their field. They will get all the full gamut of mechanization services. The Farmer Service Center will even be a microfinance center. If a farmer needs 100 cedis or 200 cedis, he doesn't have to go to a loan shark. He goes to his Farmer Service Center. They will give him the money. And when he has harvested his crops and the crops are marketed, he can pay back whatever microfinance he's been given. So these are going to revolutionize agriculture in our country. We're starting with the first 50, and they are located mainly in the Savannah zone because we're targeting 3 strategic crops, cereals, soya bean, rice, and maize. We want to ensure that Ghana becomes self-sufficient in these 3 major cereals. Soya bean, because it's important for the poultry industry. Also maize, because it's important for the poultry industry. But maize is also the most widely eaten staple in our country, Ghana. So agriculture is a subsector that we have targeted, and it is my hope that within the next 5 years we can make Ghana self-sufficient in food production and actually become a net exporter of food and agricultural products. And so I urge the farmers in this area to take advantage of these, major infrastructure that government is providing, so that they can increase their productivity, increase their incomes, and create a more decent and prosperous lives for their people. And so I want to congratulate and commend my coordinator of the Northern Rural Growth Program. You guys are doing a good job, and I expect you to continue to roll out the program as quickly as possible. Thank you.
In other stories, the flag bearer of the new patriotic party, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has dispelled rumors about his health, insisting he's healthy.
The NPP flag bearer, who was addressing the people of Jema in the Contempt South District of the Bono Ahafo region, accused operatives of the ruling National Democratic Congress for spreading the falsehood about his health. Nesta Kafe Achoma now reports.
Now, we have to go back to the court. And the Supreme Court has adjourned to Monday, July 18, the contempt hearing involving 2 radio panelists and their hosts who threatened judges in the country on a Accra-based radio station, Muntie FM.
The case was adjourned after the contemptors argued that they were not served with a writ until Tuesday morning, a position which was corroborated by the court registrar. Our reporter Raymond Aqua was in court and filed this report.
Prior to the hearing, the Chief Justice Georgina Wood and Justice Sulik Badegbe recused themselves, paving way for Justices Sophia Akufo and Julius Ansa to join a reconstituted panel chaired by Her Ladyship Akufo. According to Mrs. Wood and Badegbe, they were directly mentioned by the contemptors in their alleged threat to kill judges sitting on the voters' register case. A shareholder of Muntie FM, Edward Addo, was the only member who represented the company in court on Tuesday. The court did not understand why the other directors and owners of the radio station were not in court. It rejected the claim by Nana Addo Dazi that the rest of the owners of the radio station are out of the jurisdiction, and demanded that the entire owners of Muntie FM should have been in court since it is a corporate body. Nana Addo Dazi then withdrew his earlier plea and asked for more time to produce them. The court agreed to this and dismissed Edward Addo to reappear with the others on Monday, July 18, warning it will not tolerate any excuses on Monday when it sits on the matter.
The minority leader, Oseche Mensah-Bonsu, is questioning the delay in the appointment of a substantive minister for power following the resignation of Dr. Kwabena Donkor in December last year.
The minority leader says the current challenges with energy supply in the country makes it imperative for the president to act. Araba Kumsing has the rest of the story.
Since the resignation of former Minister for Power Dr. Kwabena Donkor, the post has been vacant, with Finance Minister Setepe acting in that capacity. Many have questioned the delay in appointing a substantive minister. In Parliament today, the minority leader raised a concern after Speaker Edwedu Ajaho read a letter from the President announcing new ministerial appointments.
Communication from the Office of the President. Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, I wish to inform you that I have nominated for consideration integration 2, Mr. John Otibles, Ministry of Local Government, as with Article 256 plus 2 of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, Mr. Joseph Francis of my highest consideration. Signed, John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic. Honourable members, I refer the nominations to the Appointment Committee for consideration and report.
But Minority Leader Osei Mensah Bonsu wants President Mahama to treat the appointment of a substantive minister as a priority.
Mr. Speaker, have you had occasion to remind the President that these are deputy ministerial nominations that is offering to us for consideration? That's a transition that affected our own colleague, Dr. Kumasi. And because of the affliction this nation is experiencing, wouldn't it be prudent to have a substantive minister responsible for power?
Meanwhile, as the energy challenges persist, Acting Power Minister Tekpe says calls for a timetable for the current power crisis are premature. Significant parts of the country have in the last few weeks had to endure rolling power cuts due to a shortfall in electricity supply estimated at about 600 megawatts. Speaking on Joy FM Super Morning Show Tuesday, Mr. Tekpe explained that too many unexpected problems have resulted in the crisis. He however insists Ghanaians do not need a timetable just yet.
The emergency power plan that was put in place was up to the level that was expected to stabilize the situation until you had strikes, blowups of pipelines, affecting the West Africa gas pipeline supply. The recent incident that affected the FPSO, which affected gas supply. Some of these, even in the agreement for the West Africa, gas pipeline, they call force majeure, which means that the company can declare force majeure. We have to plan for that now, and that's what we are doing. Okay. But let me say that the emergency power supply, was so much that it affected. These are being made as we speak. I take your point. There is a load management, committee. I take your point that it will be useful, to give a certain duration for emergencies. How long does it take to fix a pipeline that is blown, as an emergency? And you remember, I remember very well that, when we also, were held to strict, accountability for timelines. It makes it very difficult.
Well, we'll have to take you to the Ashanti region, where there have been mixed reactions from residents of the capital, Kumasi, following the news of the resignation of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly Mayor, Bonsu.
Well, Mr. Bonsu bowed to pressure from chiefs in that region to step down following accusations he had disrespected them. Despite an apology he rendered earlier, there were still calls demanding the president to remove him from office, citing among others what they describe as gross disrespect towards the Asantehene's chosen representative on the Kejetia Central Market project, the Amwa Mahene Nana Ajenim Boateng. Bonsu indicated he had informed the president of his resignation.
Wishes to involve members of the community to take good care of these infrastructures to enable them to serve the desired purpose. May these projects help create the desired environment and also be of good use to the good people of the land. I'd like to seize this opportunity to show you the book that we are launching.
And Bonsu, the former mayor of Kumasi. Well, so that'll be it for AM News this morning. As always, please get interactive on Facebook, we have JoyNews on TV. It's our page there. And then we have 056. There's a number for our WhatsApp platform.
Well, on talk, amongst other issues, this morning, remember that the Supreme Court has ordered owners of Muncie FM to appear next Monday. It rejected their representative because representation is not allowed in criminal proceedings. It specifies that it is the directors who must appear in court by themselves. Victor Kojoka Adawudu and Mr. Hassan Tampoli will be our guest later this morning. Also, we'll touch on the fact that the Electoral Commission says it has successfully deleted names of over 56,000 National Health Insurance registrants on the electoral roll. Roland, we're told that the names will subsequently be publicized or be published so that people whose names have been deleted will know.
And we hope that once that is duly done, at least you'll be in a position also. But we know the Electoral Commission has also told the political parties to complement this very effort, because it may not necessarily be everybody who will be watching through the dailies to see whether their names were there or not. And so it means that if you know you register with the NHIA, or the political parties also need to complement that by identifying the various communities, those who registered the last time around with the National Health Insurance card. But there's something interesting. So it has also been very much trending over the
Just before you come in with that, just so you know, the Electoral Commission has called a press briefing today, because there are lots of questions that a lot of us are asking that we're not getting answers to. So there will be a press briefing. We'll get a lot more details to share with you as well.
But this has been trending, so we just wanted to run this by you. Do you have the photo of the other one?
Well, Patrick Das, our director this morning, Das, is going to put it on the screen, and then we'll start telling you it's been trending very much.
This is it. Okay, so the photo will be on your screens very soon. And okay, this is a photo of Uganda's president Yoweri Museveni. And he's chatting or speaking to somebody on the phone. And while he's speaking, he's sitting on a chair on the side of a village road. He had gone to Katasot for one of the projects that usually the African presidents do. And this raised questions as to whether the cowboy hat-wearing leader was pulling off a cheap publicity stunt or was just dealing with urgent matters of national importance. But the criticism on Facebook is that, well, he even has a mobile chair and a table, all put in his line of vehicles for him in his patrol car. And the photo was released indicating that he stopped his motorcade to make the 30-minute call while returning from the World Population Day celebrations in a remote area in western Uganda on Monday. He does not say why the call had to be made from a roadside chair with an accompanying desk, but Ugandans have offered their own explanations on Twitter, on Facebook, and the other social media outlets. Just think about it.
Oh my God.
We also have another picture of David Cameron.
Later today, I guess he will not be Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
But it just shows you how leaders behave in the two worlds, in Africa and in the rest of the world.
Okay, we'll pull that picture when we're doing the newspapers.
You see, yes. We need to pull that picture too.
Yeah, when we're doing the newspapers.
We'll give you a more insight into how leaders behave in our part of the world.
Okay, so some 35 minutes exactly after 6 a.m. You're watching the AM show. When we come back, we have the newspapers. And then we will visit a few of the news portals as well. We'll check out what's trending today, amongst others, the Ugandan leader.
We're taking a break. We'll be right back.